FedEx. You guys should go use FedEx. And you know what? Tell them I disagree with your company's position too, but I'm proud that you stood up. Now, what happened? Another interesting story. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you the story. Show notes today, article from Breitbart. Folks, I'm not into this economic warfare, I've said from the start. You may say, but Dan, you've called for boycotts before. Yeah, only in response to liberal boycotts, folks. I don't want this. I don't want boycotts either way. I don't want it. I don't want to boycott Target and boycott these other places. I think the boycott of Chick-fil-A and others that happen they're all dumb. I just said to you, go buy products from companies because they produce good stuff. Okay? Don't get into this nonsense. But once they take action against us, I'm sorry, I have to refrain. And we have to fight back. What happened down in Georgia? Delta is headquartered in Georgia, out in Atlanta, Delta, the airline. Mm-hmm. Delta decided they were going to make a statement by discontinuing their relationship with the NRA. It was a discounts type program. Instead of doing what FedEx did and said, listen, we disagree with some of their positions, but we don't boycott based on political views in the United States. That's not what Delta did. So the state of Georgia, a lawmaker in the state of Georgia said, yeah, okay, we're in the state Senate here, and there's this gas purchase for airlines that's going to specifically benefit Delta down here to the tune of almost $40 million. It's kind of a tax carve-out. No thanks.
Oh.
Have a nice day. Hey, folks, I don't like any of this stuff. Let me be crystal clear on that. I hate it all. Buy companies' products because they make good products. But when they take action that hurts our economy, you want to play ball? We got to play ball too.
Yep.
I don't like carve-outs to begin with. So now it's just more of an excuse to say, oh, good. Delta was getting a carve-out for $40 million in gas purchases or whatever it is. Thank you. Have a nice day. No dice. Not today. Not on our time. Bye-bye. I don't like it. But folks, we're engaged in a really dramatic economic war here with these people. They try to bankrupt everybody. And gosh, if any company is listening, do you understand how stupid this is? These Media Matters-led, far-left, George Soros-funded boycotts almost always blow up in your face. I'm going to tie this up for you. For the same reason the gun control debate is blowing up in the left's face. Because the taking of liberty from people, the overt actions of a company that refuse to back freedom of speech and freedom of self-protection, the overt actions of a company will always generate more anger than the joy of kooky leftists who understand what they're doing will have no effect at all, if not hurt the company. Make sense, Joe?
Yeah.
What conservative boycotts work? They work all the time. The NFL being destroyed right now. It is. Attendance is down, viewership's down. Those are just facts. Hollywood, they can't sell seats anymore.
Right.
Folks, this is happening. Target, their stock plunged. Liberal boycotts almost always implode. Chick-fil-A. Remember they boycotted Chick-fil-A?
Oh, you sure do.
You couldn't get into Chick-fil-A for like a week. I went up to Western Maryland at the time that happened. The line was literally around the corner, not figuratively.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A boycott was one of the most successful Chick-fil-A moves of all time. They should have marshaled that damn thing themselves. Chick-fil-A boycott. What happened with USAA? A good company. Disclosure, I'm still a member of. They had a beef with some ads on Hannity.
Yeah. They
pulled ads. Very bad move. Now I'm back with them now. They've since made some amends and understood that this was probably a bad position. The Keurig with the Hannity show. It doesn't work. Companies out there, make a political statement. Issue a statement. We support this. We support that. Having said that, we absolutely refuse to engage in economic boycotts and will continue to advertise where there are audiences, which is, by the way, conservative talk radio, Fox News, MSNBC, another, whatever you want to do. Conservative. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Advertise on MSNBC if they have an audience. Go right ahead to the sponsors on my show. I really hope you're advertising on liberal podcasts. You have a ton of them. You have Pod Save America. Listen, these guys are in business. I don't want to boycott their stuff. Go sell your stuff there. You will not generate 1 ounce of anger or rage from me at all. I will applaud you. But to the liberals attacking us, leave us alone. You can't win this. You are going to cost the companies, and you are going to cost yourself. Okay. Gosh, I'm sorry, folks. I really, so much content lately. I feel like I'm almost doing you a disservice.
Yeah, I know.
But for those of you who asked me why the show's not longer, by the way, for you new listeners, Joe and I, our original purpose when we started was to give you a show that aggregated the best conservative content of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't mean us. I mean the best conservative stories we could find, and then add some of our particular flavor. I mean, that's what our opinion is. But it was designed to fit into your commute. So that's why the show is an hour long. It's not that we're lazy. We just want to make sure, you can get the show in the time you can commute home. So thank you for all the questions on that from the new listeners. But that's why there's an actual reason there. All right. Today's show brought to you also by Brickhouse Nutrition, one of my favorite companies and one of our original sponsors. Listen, they were bombarded with orders. Field of Greens has just basically exploded for them. It is an amazing product. All now, right. What is it? It's like fruit and vegetable insurance. There's an article up on Drudge today. You can Google it. Fruits and vegetables linked to lower rates of depression. Folks, just Google fruits and vegetables linked to, and it'll always be some healthy outcome. Almost every time. Control blood sugar, diabetes, whatever it may be. Listen, it's not a cure, okay? Not a cure for anything. You're not going to eat an apple and everything magically goes away. But there's absolutely no reasonable nutrition scientist or anyone else out there who deals with nutrition every day who will tell you that eating high quality and high quantities of fruits and vegetables is not correlated with just about every positive health outcome out there. I have been doing it since I'm a kid. I eat everything from bananas to broccoli to kale. I like all of it. Anything I can get. I like the rainbow of colors out there. Cranberries. I have dried cranberries inside, but I also take Field of Greens. It is a terrific product. It's food. It is ground up, high quality, clean, nutritious, fresh fruits and vegetables ground up into a powder. You throw it right in a drink. I like to throw it in green tea. It tastes delicious. There's a hint of licorice in there, some cherry in there, and it's fruits and vegetables you would not be able to get in the quantities. They can do it by grounding up and just removing the water. Water is like 90% of a lot of fruits and vegetables. The stuff's terrific. It tastes good. I can't recommend it highly enough. I've actually done with mine. So, Miles, if you're listening, you have to send me some more, please. It's called Field of Greens. It's available at brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. That's brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Folks, get it for the kids. It's food. It's not a nutrition supplement. It's actual food, ground up. It tastes good. Throw it in their juice in the morning like I do for my kids. I take 2 scoops a day. I absolutely love it. It is your fruit and vegetable insurance. Go give it a shot. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Field of Greens available today. Okay. All right. I said I would get to this, and I don't want to mistakenly not today because we missed that Manafort story yesterday. I was pissed after the show. I was like, damn it, Joe. I have to call you back and do a supplement now because I missed this. But we're going to be doing more of those, by the way, as breaking news comes on. But there is an amazing piece at LouRockwell.com. And, I say it a lot, but if you've ever been motivated to go to my website or join my email list to read the articles, read this one. It's so, so good. And it talks about the difference, Joe, between violence and aggression. Forgive me for looking down, but I want to read this right. And the analogy he gives is a topic we discuss often here, mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction, or MAD, conveniently named, was the premise that when the United States and Russia, the superpowers, both had nearly equivalent supplies of nuclear weapons in the terms of lethality, that the nuclear weapons would never be used, which is an interesting premise. Why spend hundreds of billions of dollars in technology and building weapons if you never, ever, ever could use them? Well, the answer was because as they both built them out and built out their nuclear capabilities and payloads, they understood that a strike would be met by a strike from the opponent, and it would mutually assure both of their annihilation. Right. In other words, we launch on Russia, they're going to launch on us, we're all dead. So the fact that, it's a very simple game theory. Well, we launched, they launched, therefore we're dead, so we might as well not launch. But we can't get rid of the weapons, but you're not going to use them because you just understood. You just said to me that you can never use them because we'd all be destroyed. Yeah, but if we don't have them, we can't guarantee the other side that we could destroy them too. You get what I'm saying? Mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Pretty simple stuff. Not complicated, right? Well, he gives an analogy in this piece about what they call, Joe, now nuclear primacy. This is fascinating. Nuclear primacy is the premise that if we can develop a strike capability that would take away their ability to launch back. In other words, take away that nuclear primacy. A lot of people are worried about this in the foreign policy realm. The geostrategic global political folks out there think about this all day, because then if nuclear primacy takes effect, then mutually assured destruction is not a problem. Because if we can take out their ability to strike back while we're striking them, we don't have to worry about being destroyed ourselves. What does this have to do with the gun debate or anything? It was a terrific analogy because it addresses the common confusion between violence and aggression. The left conflates these two all the time. Now, I gave this speech, well, I cite this speech a lot. I probably should link to it sometime, but I gave it in Annapolis a long time ago. The backstory is I showed up at a Second Amendment rally. Some people had known me from running for office. I wasn't a particularly big name in conservatism at the time. But a guy said, hey, here's the microphone. Like, I hadn't prepared this thing or anything. I just grabbed the mic, and it was an extemporaneous speech. It was about 5 minutes. And the speech went literally viral. Everybody says their speeches go viral, but we did Fox on it and everything like that. And it kind of launched me into the Second Amendment advocacy movement. The fact that I did it in Maryland, I think, resonated with a lot of people. But one of the points I made in the speech was that, you don't create a safer society by creating more sheep for the wolves to prey on. That's what he's getting at in this piece at LouRockwell.com, which I will put again in the show notes. There is a difference, Joe, between violence and aggression. Violence, in many cases, is acceptable. Aggressive violence isn't. Now think about that. I know that's not, oh my gosh, how can you say that? No, just think it through logically. If you're walking down the street and some criminal attacks you and your kids while you're with your two daughters, and you then respond and overwhelm him with violence, nobody sends you to jail. Now, you may have a trial if you go overboard and you beat the guy. He may sue you. But most people, Joe, sane people go, well, Joe, you're walking down the street with little Joe. What happened? Some guy grabbed me by the back, tried to grab my kid. Well, what'd you do? I punched him in the face. Nobody goes, oh, my God, what are you, an idiot?
Yeah.
Now, Joe, you and I are reasonable. That is violent, correct?
Yeah, it's violent. Yeah.
But is it aggressive?
No, it's defensive.
Yes. Bingo. Yeah. I did not. That is the difference. It is the left's constant conflation of violence with aggression that confuses people. The point he makes in the piece, which, Joe, I did not set him up for that at all, is that what the left wants you to believe is that defensive violence is equally as bad as aggressive violence. In other words, we need to get your guns away too because, hey man, violence, and we need to control gun violence. Wait, time out.
Yeah.
You're talking about, you want to control defensive violence too? So in other words, I have to forfeit away my right to concealed carry in blue states like Maryland and New York because of aggressively violent people? It's a brilliant point. Now, I swear I'm not patting myself on the back or trying to create some kind of intellectual equivalence. I understood this point, especially in that speech, but I didn't articulate it like this. So kudos to the writer here. He does a far better job of philosophically explaining what I did in a relatively emotional speech. You don't create a safer society by creating more sheep for the wolves to prey on. He makes the point in the piece that the firearm, Joe, is the great equalizer in defensive violence. Mm-hmm. And basically, you cannot deprive these people of their means to defend themselves against the aggressor. That's the theory behind this, nuclear primacy. That when you effectively disarm a nation's nuclear ability to strike back, right? By nuclear, remember, right now the Russians have the ability to strike us. We have the ability to strike them. Therefore, nothing happens, thankfully, because we don't want to wipe each other out. Right. If we were able to effectively disarm them, not by taking their nukes, but to engage in nuclear primacy where we can take out their counterstrike ability right away, Joe. We can hit them. They can't hit us back anymore. We destroy it.